Hi, Dermot here from DarkRoom Tribes. I just wanted to put a small little video together. I think really about panic attacks. So far, like on the website, I've been talking about the dark room, my experience in the dark room, and how the dark room really helped me with stress. But the dark room definitely wouldn't be for someone that never really had a good practice or that's suffering from panic attacks or post-traumatic stress. I wouldn't recommend going into the dark room because you'll probably freak out, like it'll be too strong for you. But anyway, I was at a stage where the dark room really helped me. And I think being introduced to the dark is very good, or even wearing blindfolds is very good, where you could spend even an hour a day, go to a nice quiet area in the house, get a nice room, use the blindfolds, and just get used to actually being in the dark, because it starts bringing your attention inwards. And if you're completely fatigued, if you have adrenal fatigue, if you have post-traumatic stress, if you have a lot of stress going on in your body, bringing your attention actually inwards helps to rejuvenate the energy in your body. Now, it's a very slow process, but that attention of actually going inwards begins to actually heal the body. It allows the body actually heal itself. So panic attacks are going to be difficult. They're just difficult to deal with, especially when they're really strong. And like I had some serious panic attacks in the past. I had panic attacks a couple of years ago when I was in Spain, and yeah, they were crazy. I was driving over a bridge in a camper van for my first time. And I knew beforehand, I was driving from Portugal into Spain over this kind of cable bridge thing, yeah, and it was really narrow, and I could feel even an hour beforehand something was happening inside of me, and I should have known and I should have stopped, but I didn't, and I kept going on. As I was going to the bridge, and when I got onto the bridge, the panic attack came, and it was crazy. It was so strong, and I was in a camper van, and it was windy, and it was blowing, and all I could do was focus. My wife and my daughter were with me, and I wasn't going to say anything. You couldn't, because the panic was kicking in, and I was very lucky that I had a lot of training before for probably a couple of decades, or even 15 years in meditation, that at least I had the training that I could hold it for a couple of seconds or even a minute or two, try to hold it in the presence. And I just said, focus, just focus. Do nothing else but absolutely focus. As in a dangerous situation on the bridge, I said, focus, slow down, keep your distance from the car in front of you, and breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe, and make it intentional. Because the panic was so strong, and if a panic gets really strong, light breathing won't work, because your mind will be going way too fast. You need to go intentional. Breathing in, breathing out. Make it intentional, and make it steady. And that got me to the other end of the bridge, and I managed somehow to pull over somewhere on the road, and I was in bits. And it took me about 3 days to even start to calibrate myself after that. I blew every circuit in my body. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out, I couldn't go to restaurants. I couldn't do anything after that. And even on the way back, my wife had to drive, and I had to sedate myself in order to cross the bridge again. You know, I was just freaking out all over the place. And then this happened over and over again. We were in Spain again at a wedding, and the whole thing kicked off again once, and it's hell. It's hell when it's happening, because it's not just a panic attack. It was a panic attack, but then all this post-traumatic stress was happening. So I couldn't be in the company of other people. I couldn't have too much noise. It would just go through me. My whole electrical field in my body, magnetic field in my body was broken, basically. My whole central nervous system was broken. And I had to repair that, and I had to find that out for myself. So when we were in Spain, and we had a wedding, and it wasn't the time of the wedding, I think it was just after the wedding, and huge panic attack came on again, and I was freaking, and I knew I had to do. And then my instinct came straight in and said, "Get a burger, get Coca-Cola and chips, the worst, unhealthiest food I could possibly eat." Right? Okay. I normally eat reasonably okay. And my wife, she's a health counselor. She goes, "No," and I was going, "Give me a burger, chips and Coke." Right? I said, right. So we went in, and we got the burger, chips and Coke, and I ate it. And within 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, I was coming down. I was coming down. I was coming into my body. The panic was calming down for a bit. And I said, great. And I was getting it into me, getting it all into me. And I said, great, get me back to the hotel now. It bought me time. If a massive panic is coming on like that and you're in a dangerous situation, you're out and about, it's not the place for you when a panic is coming on. Get heavy food into your body, right? Get heavy food. Stay away from coffee. Stay away from stimulus like that. Just get heavy food into your body. That bought me time. I went back to the hotel, and then I had a protocol. I had a protocol at that stage because I knew I had to have one. And my protocol was, you go into a room in the dark or the darkness or semi-dark, and I sit there. And I was meditating. That was my plan. And I sit there and I try to meditate. You don't even meditate because the panic is so strong. And you try to stay with it, and you try to stay with it. And I was there, and I spent about a day and a half there, in and out to the pool a bit, but staying there. And I started to recalibrate myself after a couple of days, especially with the post-traumatic stress, because it's not just a panic. You have a panic will come really hard, panic can go. But when you have the panic attack and then you have this post-traumatic stress, it can take weeks. You can't use mobile phones or anything because you're so sensitive. So that was a good lesson for me, to have the protocol. And I started calibrating myself. I had to sedate myself again, going back across the bridge to Portugal. Sedated myself a little bit, which was very helpful. I don't think it's the solution by any means to medicate yourself. Like, it wouldn't be my direction. But we need to use our common sense and take a middle road on it. And if you're in a dangerous situation and you have to get out of it, if you need to do something to bring yourself down a bit, do it. Doesn't matter. Just do it. So I took some medication. That was great. Sedated me down. Got me home. And then it took, again, another few weeks to start to recover from that. But this process kind of kept going on. But I had my protocol. So whenever a panic will kick in, really bad, and post-traumatic stress will come, I knew I had to stop work for a while. I had to stay off the mobile phones. I couldn't use them. And I need to sit in a room. So the body will start healing itself. All we have to do is give space. Mental space. Mental space in our heads. Mental space in our bodies. Yeah? We don't actually have to do anything. And we can't actually do anything. The body is going to heal itself as long as we give it a chance. Try our best to stay present. We start to love ourselves. We start to love the different organs in our body. We start to love the panic. The panic, the fear is there. Love the fear. Love the fear. Start to love the central nervous system in the body. Start to love all the body. And the love itself is actually presence. The love itself is, you're present in love. Like, that is probably, for me, probably the best healing process. Because everything starts calming down. And the mind starts calming down. So I just wanted to make this short little video now. Just a little short one. I'm going to start throwing more stuff up. And I'm kind of freestyling this. There's no real big agenda on it. I'm just going to make the videos. And if they resonate with you, that's great. And if you can take something from it, that's great, But if you are suffering from a serious panic attacks, from post-traumatic stress, the most important thing is for you to know that you can get better. You can actually really heal yourself. I was in an awful bad state a couple of years ago. Even this time last year, I was in a desperate state, and I started overworking again. It was a habit, and I was extremely busy with my work, And then the post-traumatic stress kicked in again, and then I couldn't use the mobile phones, and I couldn't work, and I couldn't answer. But you can't function. And it was this year I changed how I work. I started putting a lot more boundaries up around my work, yeah, which is good. You know, it's good. I had way too many clients coming to me, and that was for a different type of work. That's in my I have a landscape design business as well, and so I managed to slow that down a lot, and then I do the work way more systematic, and this year has been really good. My stress levels just haven't risen up at all. But the dark room for me was a big part of that process because it grounded my energy into the ground, earthed me right into the ground, so my body isn't overcharging with energy. But you don't need to do the dark room, and you only do the dark room if you feel the pull for it. I'd never persuade anyone to do the dark room. You have to feel that it's right for you and that you want to do it, and then you go into it slowly. So look, I'll make a few more videos, and we'll talk more about stress. We'll talk about post-traumatic stress, and then we'll talk about ways and techniques that you can at least start to work with this. You can start to kind of get the mind balanced, so you get the few moments, the few seconds of being present. Start to bring the attention into the body, slowly, 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 slowly. And you start to recognize your own cycles in your body, the behavior patterns in your own body, yourself. There's no point in believing what I say. You'll come up with the knowledge yourself. So we'll make a few more videos, a few practical videos, and hopefully they can help you in some way. Thank you.